So today we're going to do Huggins. And Huggins is one of my favorite tangles. And in fact, Zentangle made Huggins the tangle of the year. So it is a great time to actually explore a little bit of Huggins. But the first thing that I want to do with Huggins is show you how I teach people to draw it. It can be a little bit of like a eye-boggling tangle. And so I wanted to kind of just explain maybe something that will make it a little bit easier for you. So we're going to start off the same way on our tiles with our dots in the corner, and then we're going to put our frames in there, maybe put like a little wiggle or something on our lines. Okay. And we're not going to do a string because this is just going to be a monotangle. So Huggins is a grid pattern, okay? But instead of using lines for grids, it uses circles. So, you know, putting down all the circles and stuff, it does get a little fiddly, but you just want to just go slow and take your time and it'll be absolutely fine. Okay, and as you can see, my little squares are not all the same size, all in a row. It's the best I could do. So, and that's okay, because this is Zentangle. All right, so the best thing to do for this tangle when you're learning, if you've never done it before, is to concentrate on just 4 circles at a time, okay? And so that's what we're going to do right here. And in Huggins, we do this thing called pick up and land. So we're basically going to put our pen down, draw, and then land. So it's like this. Like that, okay? And I'm drawing this one on the inside of what I consider kind of a square made of these 4 circles. So you put your pen down, then you land on the other circle like that, okay? Now we're just going to move on to the next set of 4 circles. Okay, that's it right there. But we are going to uncover this because what we want to do is the opposite of the lines that we made here. Here they went inside the square. Oh wait, it's actually this. Oops, sorry. So it made the inside of the square. So now we're gonna do lines on the outside. So we start with the line that's already been drawn here. There's a circle right there. So we just go on the outside like that, okay? Still doing the pick up and land. Pick up and land. Okay? And then we move it down again. And we're confronted with just these 4 circles. Now, since we did the lines on the outside for the one above it, we're going to do lines on the inside. And you'll get the pattern pretty quickly. Okay? And now lines on the outside, because these lines above it are on the inside. And then just moving down the same pattern. If these lines are on the outside, we're going to do lines on the inside. Like that. Okay. Then since we have a good bit of space right here, I'm actually going to put a little bit of the lines on the inside that would normally be there. Okay, and then what we do is we just kind of go across doing the same thing. And if it helps you to put little cards on here, then by all means do so. Okay, so what we're looking at then are these 4 squares, these 4 circles, sorry, that make up a square. And so you can see that these 2 already have a line on the outside. So what we're going to do is mirror that, like that. Okay, and then we're just going to continue to move down, mirroring the line that is on the side that has already been done. You can totally use those little cards if it helps. Okay, and then we just go across doing the same thing. So line on the inside, line on the inside, line on the outside, line on the inside. You just do the opposite move of what you've just done. Okay, so now you've done that part. So you turn your towel on the side and kind of continue on the same way. So what I like to do again is to show people, okay, it's really not a lot different. You're still just looking at these 4 circles that make a square, okay? And the only rule really to remember is that when the lines are bowed towards the top and the bottom, like this, okay? This little container here just means that your lines are gonna go on the inside, okay? And this helps create that weaving effect, all right? So every time you have a set of lines or a set of 4 circles that has these lines at the top and the bottom, you know that you're going to be putting the bows like that on the inside, okay? So, and you don't have to use these cards if they're not useful to you. But so every time you encounter that shape, though, that's what you're going to do. So we're going to go across like this. So the line at the top and the line at the bottom is right here. So I'm going to bow in like that. Go down, find the same shape, do the same thing. Okay, can y'all see it coming together now? All right. Oops. Okay, and then you'll see that there's some others in between the ones that you just did. And so you just do the same thing. See, a line at the top, a line at the bottom. Okay, and so that is basically how you would draw Huggins. Now, since this is a full tile, I'm going to add a little bit of stuff that we don't actually necessarily need to, but I think it looks a little bit better. So I want my Huggins to kind of go off of the frame, like under the frame. So what I'm going to do is just add in the things that are supposed to be there. So you can kind of see that this ribbon here is running under this ribbon. So I'm just going to continue it like that. Okay, and I'm going to do that on this side too. Just look for the part that's bowed up. Okay. And then we have these over here that kind of don't have a closure. And I like to go on the ends and close those. And since the opposite line bows out, that's what we're going to do right here. Skip that one. Go to this one. Skip that one. Okay. And then we have some over here that are the same way. And then these kind of disappear, so we don't have to do it for all of them. Okay, so I got all those. Okay, so this is the basic thing of Huggins. And one of the fun things about it that makes it such a versatile tangle is that you can do a lot with it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a simple thing to do with Huggins. Okay, so just start with one of your shapes. It doesn't really matter which one. And then you're just going to put a very thin aura line around it. So all the ones moving in the same direction, that's what we're going to do it. Okay, and then you have one side, and you can leave it like that, or you can turn it and do the same thing with this to make it a little bit more even. But another thing that you can do with Huggins is just decorate it a little bit more intricately, I guess. And so what I'm going to do with those, just to show you, is something a little bit different. So okay, see, it starts to look like a really pretty pattern when you do that. So I think I got all of them. I might have a couple over here that has room for a little bit of flower. Let's see. Let's pretend that was like that. And then okay. So see, there's a way to take Huggins and basically use the shapes of Huggins as their own strings, so that you can add more stuff in it. And I just did this really kind of simple one because I wanted to not overwhelm anybody, but also to kind of show you that yeah, it may look like a boring pattern at first, but it can be completely interesting. So you can do something like that. And then for shading, you know, since it's really kind of busy, I don't want to do a whole lot of really dark shading. So, but I do want to highlight some of the things. So I think that what I would do is put some graphite here on the edges of the pretty ones with the flowers. Oops, wrong spot. That's okay. See how pretty that looks with the shading? It's just a little bit, but it really adds to it. And if you wanted to add maybe a little contrast, what you could do is just color in the little circles, especially if you had like a couple of like little like wonky bits where your pen slipped a little bit. You know, you don't have to do this, but it does help hide a little mistakes once in a while. So I wanted to make sure that I showed this as an option. really just how much boldness and contrast you want in it, because I think this is really pretty just as it is. But if you've taken a class with me, you know I like to give all kinds of options because everybody is different. And there is just one version of a way that you can enjoy Huggins.